Okay. So are there any guests on this call that would like to come off mute and um, get your questions answered? I see there's a Francie here.
I'm not really sure where to start with questions. I'm Lori's guest, and she knows more of the specifics of what's
Sure.
going on in my situation.
Yeah.
Um, so Lori, I know I said I could probably ask my own questions, but I think um, if you have some that you could frame for me, that would be very helpful.
That's amazing. I'm happy for Lori to do that for you. Welcome to the call, Ryan. Hey, Lori. Hey, hun, you sound a little robotic. Maybe turn off your camera.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey,
no,
yeah, so Deidre,
no, still robotic, Lori. Hey, Lori. No. Okay. So, Ryan, if you can hear me, are you still here, Ryan? Lori,
Yep.
I can speak to his concerns a little bit, Lori, if that's okay, until your reception picks up. So, Ryan, Lori chatted with me just a little bit about your health concerns. I support her
Is
customers.
that
She's a
better?
part of my team. No, not
No,
really. Wait,
shoot,
a little bit.
not really.
Yep, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
bummer. Okay.
go ahead.
Uh, okay. Um, yeah.
Do you want to
Can
try?
you
I
hear
can hear
me
you now.
better
Yep. No,
now?
it's okay. I'll just take it, Lori, okay?
No.
Yep. No, I'll just take it. I'll
Okay.
just take it for now. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that.
Yep. Yep. Sure. No problem. So, Ryan, my understanding is that you have had some catatonia, that you have been in a coma for about 60 days or so, and have had some emotional regulation as well, that you're wanting to hear more about our protocols. Does that sound right, Ryan?
Yep, that sounds right.
Okay. And so I chatted with another practitioner as well who supports our team, and just shared some of the symptomology that you were having. And we agree that so what typically happens in the body, and I would need to know more. That's just kind of the beginning information that Lori gave me. But what happens in the body when the body goes into a catatonic state is that the body is really needing to repair deeply because of the level of acidosis, and because of the level of lymphatic stagnation that begins the process of degeneration in the body. And so our bodies do their best work when they're resting. And your catatonia just speaks to the level of work that your body is needing to do. And so, what we felt like would be a great place for you to start would be with one of our 30-day protocols. So, really getting the body into a state of alkalinity and out of acidosis, where we're moving waste out of the body, where we're moving out stagnation, so that the body can start to regenerate at the cellular level. And then also really supporting your adrenals, because what's happening in your body, and you're free to give more information as well once I share this, but what happens in the body when it goes into a degenerative regenerative state is that it is no longer cellularly turning over. So the neurotransmission of the body that fires from the gut to the hypothalamus, what supports our neurological and nervous system, those things are no longer functioning at a level that is optimal. And actually, it's starting to slow down. And so the catatonia is your body saying, we are really in a place where we just need to shut down and go into deep rest to protect you. And so as you clean up the internal terrain, as you start to repair the gut and the tight junctions, that will support your body to be able to fire more optimally, support your neurological system and your liver, your glands, and your organs to be able to work optimally again, so that the light bulbs come back on, so to speak. And so the protocol that I would recommend for him, Lori, is the ultimate lifestyle transformation to start. That is 60 superfood meals. So that's 2 alkalizing shakes a day. That is our prebiotic and probiotic that's scientifically proven to repair the gut. And the gut is really the hub of the body. That is also our aminos they were actually, these would be great for you, but they were created by an Italian doctor for people who were actually on bed rest to keep their muscles healthy and from deteriorating. So these would be great to really help you at the cellular level. They also are super nourishing and super satiating, but the body needs aminos to be able to repair, to be able to function optimally. And a lot of what we focus on is protein, but our body actually needs the aminos as a simple structure. And the simple structure put together is what forms the protein to really help the body optimally start to come alive again. And then we also add in an organic cherry tart juice that helps with melatonin, which is really deep rest. It helps with kidney filtration and reducing inflammation in the body. And in a catatonic state, your body likely has a lot of inflammation, which is why it's shutting down. And then you do a brief 10-day parasite cleanse to get rid of any kind of parasitic activity. And then we would like to support your adrenals, because your adrenals are central to brain functioning. They are central to elimination pathways and the body really working and thriving. And so that's the protocol that I would recommend for you to start for 30 days. And then you would be checking in with Lori, who is supported by regenerative practitioners and specialists. But it's likely that after we get your body nourished at the cellular level, that we would add in some herbal support that is non-Purium. And I can help Lori with getting you those protocols just to support you with herbs, which are just plants that really feed at the cellular level, which is what we want. We want to go deep to nourish the body and help it to reset. How does that sound? And do you have any questions about that?
Yeah, that all sounds good. I'm interested in getting kind of more information on the specifics of what we're looking at, as far as what is potentially and probably damaged, and what we're repairing, and how the processes that you're going to use do that repair. So I think as far as moving forward, just getting a bit more information, and then as far as I'm concerned, it sounds great. So
wonderful. Well, Lori she will create a link that has everything that I've just recommended in that link. And then from that link, you'll be able to order all of our superfoods here are 100% organic. grown in regenerative soil. That means the soil is rich in nutrients and it's also been removed from any kind of chemical pesticides and toxins, and vine ripened. We are third party tested and just the highest quality of food. And so if you're on, and this is for anybody on the call, if you're on any kind of medications or anything like that, this is just food. And so if you are eating every day, you can totally take this and add it into your diet, add it into your lifestyle, and actually it's probably going to be better than any of the food that you're getting in the store, just because of how it's grown and how we've taken care of it. And so Ryan, if once you and Lori talk, if you have any other questions, she can reach out to me to get those answers for you. And I'm excited to support you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other guests on the call that would like to come off mute and have your questions answered?
Yeah, this is Francie. Sorry, my mic wasn't working earlier. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Hi, Francie.
Hi, so we've been talking with Mark Dalsing, and my husband, Tim, he's in basically an end-stage renal failure, and his kidney is basically working at a very low percentage. And we are in the process of looking at a kidney donor, but just wanted to see if there was a different option before pursuing that transplant procedure.
Hi. Okay, thank you. And hi, Tim. Thanks for being here. So you said Mark invited you. I believe he is, I believe he supported.
I think he's under Jen
Rosen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. So Jen and I are on the same team, and we're all supported by Carrie. And I will say that we work with a lot of people that are struggling with cancer and kidney failure. And so the first thing that we always like to start people with is getting their body nourished at the cellular level. When your kidneys, your glands, and your organs are starting to shut down, when there is failure, it is because, one, there is cellular degeneration, like I was talking to Ryan about. Two, it is that the body has been in a chronic state of acidosis and lymphatic stagnation. And three, it is that the elimination pathways are not open and they're not functioning properly. And so when the elimination pathways are not open and functioning properly, the body has to do a lot of work. And over time, the body gets tired. And so that is what leads it to that degenerative state where it starts to fail. Everything in the body can be regenerated when you give it the right environment, but it is going to take a little bit of work, some diet changes, and really cleaning up the internal terrain. So 80% of our fluid in the body is lymphatic fluid. And we are designed to be in an alkaline state, but most people are in an acidic state. That acidic state over time, if you think about what acid does, like if you think about a vehicle or just acid over time, it eats away at things. And when it is eating away at things, it shuts the body down. And so the first thing that we have to do is to support cellularly with nourishing foods, but really we have to work to get your elimination pathways flowing properly. And what I mean by elimination pathways are kidneys, via the urine, stools, the air that we breathe, and our skin. And so I would recommend two things. The first thing I'm going to recommend is Purium protocol, which is what this call is. That is our superfood protocol. And the second piece of that is going to be non-Purium. So it's going to be herbal protocol. Jen, who supports Mark, is a regenerative practitioner like me and has access to herbal protocols, which herbs are incredibly intuitive. They work really well and really quickly to go right to the area that is struggling and to get that area functioning optimally. but we always like to start with proper nourishment. So can I ask Tim, what is your diet like right now?
If his microphone is on.
Yeah, just turn it on. Right now it's just all across the board. I pretty much have a seafood diet. I seafood and I eat it kind of thing. It's not really excluding anything. I mean, I like pretty much anything. You name it, I like it, barring like most shellfish and stuff like that. So.
All right. So the first change, are you open to some changes? Before I start throwing out changes at you, let me ask, are you even open to that? Because I want to honor you and your process of where you are.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm open to change. I mean, I've done the keto diet and stuff and I've seen some success with that. And as far as lowering my A1C, but the end stage renal disease, that was going to be kind of a question that I had, is just as far as what I'm not even sure what the program is. We, like Francie said, she's friends with Mark, and just want to kind of seek what options we have. And so honestly, I have no idea what we're talking about in the Zoom call.
Okay. Well, that's great. Okay, wonderful. So let's walk it back about 3 steps before I start throwing changes at you. Okay. So this call, we are a group of regenerative health practitioners that are very, very passionate about helping people to regenerate their body and reverse conditions in the body where the body is no longer functioning optimally. And we use organic superfood protocols to support people in that process, because most all disease, the root of it is poor diet, acidosis, lymphatic stagnation. That means that the fluid in your body, instead of flowing, like a river, that it's crystallized, it's stagnant. So it's no longer moving, it's just still. And what happens there, it means that waste can't get out, because what we eat, food in, food out. But when it is stagnant and crystallizing, it's food in and it stays. And so when it stays, that means that what you don't eliminate, you accumulate. So if you're eating 3 meals a day per se, but you're not eliminating, where does that go? It stays in the body. And over time, it starts to rot and to decay. And that leads to that degeneration or failure of our livers, our glands, our organs, our tissues, our kidneys. And so what I think I'm hearing you say is that right now, if you're eating a lot of fish, that means you're taking in a lot of heavy metals. And where metals go, where metals are, we have a lot of parasites. Parasites love heavy metals. And fish is just not what it used to be because of the state of our water. So our waters are filled with a lot of toxins and glyphosate, which is the main ingredient, and Roundup, a lot of pesticides. So when we take that in, we take it into our body. The other thing that is happening with the diet that is very free, we'll call it a free diet. You said I don't restrict, I don't limit anything. But what happens is that our diet tends to be more on the acidic side of things. And there's only 2 sides to chemistry. There's alkaline and there's acid. And if we're not eating alkaline, which is our fruits, that's our veggies, that's eating organically, that's eating things that nourish the cells, then we're typically eating on the acid side of things. And the acid is what causes the degeneration of things internally. That's what causes things to fail. So before we like to start, doing any kind of treatment, if a diet doesn't change, then the treatment is like, it's almost working against the body, because everything in the body starts with food. Food is our medicine, right? So what I would love to see you do is to move your diet out of a state of acidity into more alkaline eating. And not even keto, because keto is horrible for the body. Actually, it sends the body into ketosis, and it starts a rapid decline of the liver, the glands, and the kidneys. I was a keto for 5 years. And on the outside, I looked amazing. I'm talking, I had muscles popping out and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. But on the inside, my liver was starting to deteriorate and the whites of my eyes were turning yellow because the bilirubin in my body, I was way off because I was high meat and high fat, and my liver was working overtime to get rid of that level of protein and fat, and it was really taxing my liver. So I've had for the last 2 years to learn to eat in an alkaline state to regenerate my liver. Same is true for kidneys. Ketosis and keto diet is actually really, really horrible for everybody. But
Yeah, we
I
found
say
that
that,
out.
yes, it's horrible
Yeah.
for everybody. It's great for short-term weight loss, but it's so tough on the body. So what your kidneys are needing is to be open. The reason that they're failing is because there's a chronic condition of them not being able to eliminate waste because your kidneys filter out the waste. So when you go to the doctor and they say, hey, Tim, take this urine test, typically what they're looking at is the color of your urine. They're like, oh, it's really yellow or it's clear, but they're not actually testing to see if there is sediment in your urine, which is what we want to see. So every time we pee, we should be pushing waste out through the body, and you can't see it in the toilet. You have to look in a cup. So we're looking for cloudy, foggy urine that has sediment, crystals, flakes, mucus strands. That's how you know your body is getting rid of that. So our protocols are going to help, one, to nourish you cellularly. Two, they're going to help add in this healthy nourishment of food and get your body alkaline. But three, they're going to help start the process of getting your kidneys open so that the waste is leaving the body and so that your organs aren't doing so much work because they're tired. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Now that you say that, I can give you a little bit more specifics on my diet. It's very poultry, heavy on poultry, chicken specifically, but I do like some red meats. And the fish is very, I mean, it's very like rare occasional. Like, and if I do, it's either shrimp or like tilapia or something like that. And then I try and eat as far as I can, as far as like a balanced diet with just incorporating veggies and fruits. I love veggies and fruits. So I always try and incorporate that somehow. But yeah, so I guess one of my main questions is just as far as like how effective is the protocol with people that have basically complications, because that's what the end stage renal disease is, a complication from diabetes. I got diagnosed with diabetes at the age of 16, and kind of even before that, I've always kind of had some health issues. I know that I was jaundice when I was born and had to be put in an incubator. So it's just it's something as far as my health. So, but yeah, yeah, I'm kind of interested to see like what are the prospects of I guess reversing the effects of the diabetes.
Yeah. So we support diabetes all the time, all day, every day. My dad is actually diabetic. He's 81 and I'm from the South. So we're like meat and potato people, you know, like we say, we call it eat something that sticks to your ribs. We fry everything. We love meat and we love potatoes. And so at 81, me telling my dad, hey, you got to back down off the meat and we're going to stop frying things. I mean, he was looking at me like I had lost my mind, but I have seen my 81-year-old dad, who has been a diabetic, who was a smoker, reverse his diabetes at 81 years old from changing his diet and from adding in these protocols. Now,
Wow.
we can't make health claims. I can't promise you anything, but I can tell you that more than any other condition, diabetes is what we support the most, 1 and 2. And diabetes is reversible with diet changes. And so the rate at which somebody reverses it and how quickly they reverse it really depends on how willing they are to make the changes.
Yeah. We've
And
seen
one of
that
the,
from changing diets. It's just, I think I'm interested to see the sustainability of the protocols.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Well, so I recommend, I think you should plan to be committed for at least 90 days to doing so 3 transformations is what I would recommend you start with, and then reassessing and moving into maintenance. It could take longer because this is chronic, right? So you didn't get here overnight. You're not going to get out overnight, but you are going to see improvements the more consistent you are. Meat and dairy are your enemy, and they are going to be the first things that need to go. Dairy, so if you had to choose between the two, like sustainability, dairy needs to be the first thing to go. It's highly, highly inflammatory, extremely mucousy, and highly acidic. And if we gave a baby calf the milk and the cheese and the butter that we take in, the calf would die. Our bodies are not allowed, they just can't hold up with those kinds of acids coming in. But meat is really hard on the body, and it takes a lot of work for the body to break it down. And the reason that is because, and so with diabetes, what's happening is the insulin is not level, it's not stabilizing, but it's because of the same thing that's causing your renal failure. Your kidneys and your adrenals aren't functioning properly, and all of it works together. So your endocrine system is your thyroid, it is your pituitary, it's your adrenals, the whole system works together. So if one part is off, it's going to impact the other parts. And what your body is telling you is, we are tired. We can't break down or eliminate the food that you're taking in. And so one organ after another, it's starting to shut down slowly. So it started with the diabetes, it's moved into the renal. So your body is telling you it needs you to make rapid changes. So dairy, meat, and things that are really starchy need to go. And I would focus more, at least, and don't look at it like, is this my lifestyle forever? Because there will be a phase where you can move back into adding some things back in. But for a while, especially in stage 4 renal failure, we really need to make some hard, fast changes. You want to focus primarily on fruits, to be honest, and some raw veggies, and adding in the protocols. And then also, after 30 days, I would be working with Mark to work with Jen to get started on some herbal protocols. So the protocol that I'm recommending for you, and this call is recorded and I'll send it out so Mark has it and can hear everything that I'm sharing. But the protocol that I would recommend, I'm assuming if you are eating just pretty much whatever you want, you don't have a lot of sensitivity. So you're probably not sensitive to gluten or things like that, right? That you know of?
not that I know of.
Okay. So I would start with the ultimate lifestyle transformation. That is our 30-day transformation. That's going to be 60 meals a day. And adding in the B energetic to support your adrenals. That's where I would start. And I would plan for you to do that for about 90 days. And then moving into maintenance. Immediate changes with the diet is taking out dairy and meat if you're open to it. Yes, I heard a question somewhere.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure you're seeing the full picture of it, because I don't know if I mentioned, but he is on dialysis too, and he's actually stage 5 kidney failure.
Okay.
So does that make any difference in anything?
No,
Okay.
because this is food. So we're not adding in these, it's not medication. It is it's organic superfood and herbal protocols. So if he's eating regular food, there's nothing in this protocol that's going to hurt him. And as a matter of fact, this is better than anything that he's going to pick up at the store, because of how the body absorbs it and utilizes it and the body's ability to take it in without any kind of added stress on the glands and the organs. And so this is actually probably the best level of nourishment that he can get, because his body is not having to do any kind of extra work. And the aminos, which he's going to be taking in place of protein, those are bioavailable in the body in 23 minutes. And so they actually just absorb without adding, they give the liver and the kidneys a break. Where meat and starches, the liver, the kidney, the glands really have to work to break that down. These just absorb cellularly, and his body is needing a rest. It is needing to quiet down so that those glands, those organs don't have to work so hard. And so this is actually really great that he's going to be adding this in. Now, I will tell you, it is highly likely he's going to need to work with a practitioner, Jen or Carrie, to add in some herbs, but this is a beautiful starting place, and this is really going to support his body cellularly.
Have you guys had testimonies of people who have been able to come off dialysis that you're aware of?
Carrie Drinkwine, who is, she is the practitioner that supports our team. She has a wellness clinic in Minnesota and Minneapolis. And her ideal, or her primary population of people that she works with, are people that are in pretty degenerative states like cancer. Like, this is, people fly from around the country to see her because this is kind of the last stage. And she would have some testimonies on her YouTube, which is Wise Wellness. And she also, she's not available today, but I believe on Wednesday, she's going to lead our call on Wednesday. But she would know where those testimonies are from her clinic. She supports people all the time. It's incredible. And so these are the protocols that she works with. She's actually super picky and never allowed any kind of supplements in her clinic until Purium, and only works with the highest quality superfoods and herbs. And so she would have some testimonies. And actually, I can text her and ask her for one. She may not be able to get it to me today, but then I can get it to Jen to get to Mark, and then you guys can have that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any other questions about anything I've said? Okay.
Not that I have.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for you to get started. I'm excited for you to see how much better you can feel, and for your body to get a break from the foods that you're eating, because those are not helping. They're actually worsening the conditions. And so I would get super picky about what you're eating, and any fruits and vegetables, I'd make sure they're organic. And I'd really focus on doing, starting off slow with adding in fruits and doing some veggies, cooked veggies, and then working with Mark and Jen on tweaking your protocol as you go.
All right.
Okay.
Babe, do you have anything else? I think his mic is off already.
Nope.
I see him
Yeah.
shaking
Thank
his
you so-
head. He's good.
Yeah, okay.
Be encouraged, Tim. Be encouraged. It's going to get better.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Kimberly, did you have a question?
I did, which actually timing of this is sad that it's in alignment with this, but I know two kiddos that have type 1 diabetes. One has known for a while and the other one is a recent diagnosis. So I'm trying to be sensitive to both the moms that I know, because I don't know a lot about this yet. So I was like, oh, that's kind of my question. And then I was like, great, that's what I need to ask today. It's like, because we know for type 1 in kids, I guess, is just what other questions can I be asking so that I know which protocol to go down, or the path for these kiddos?
Yeah, so I think I would be dependent on the age. Do you know the age of the kids?
I know for sure it's like 8, 9, 10 years old.
Okay. So I would start with the Epigenius Kids protocol.
Okay.
Just because with kids, it's going to be the most inclusive, and not overwhelm the moms as they're adding things in. So everything's going to be in that shake.
Mhm.
And then if mama needs to add in some extra super aminos, she can, but I would just start with the shake and then go from there. And for the Epigenius Kid Shake, you'd be doing 1 shake a day, because 2 kind of becomes like a cleanse. So I would
Mhm.
start with the 1. They won't do the super cleanse R.
Right.
They can do some BioRay. BioRay is for kids, and it is their version of a parasite cleanse, and that's a
Okay.
tincture. That's great to add in. And then I would help mamas with cleaning up diet. So proper food combining, not combining the fruits and the veggies, doing things that are lower in on the glycemic index. So probably like papayas, maybe apples, starting more slowly like that, and then building up to things like the grapes and the watermelons. So you'd want to start with things that are lower and then build up, and then helping them if they're not ready to eliminate dairy, which dairy honestly is the thing to be eliminated. The meats you can take a little bit slower, but the dairy is kind of needs to be like it's done, because that absorbs in the body like sugar and it sends the insulin through the roof. But if you can help them to learn about proper food combining, because I know a lot when parents send kids to school, when they're doing lunches, you'll have, maybe cucumbers and carrots, and you also have like the apples and the grapes, and then you also have like the sandwich. And that lunch is a nightmare for a diabetic because it's all kinds of improper food combining, but also the meat and the fat mixed with the fruit and the veggies makes it hard for their insulin to regulate. And so if you can teach them about proper food combining and taking out the meat, and if they need to just do some kind of protein, maybe just saving that for the end of the night, like at dinner in a very small portion, after they've really focused more on those fruits I mentioned and cooked veggies throughout the day, and then adding in the shake.
Okay.
And I think that's a great starting place, because for kids, we don't want to overwhelm them. We want them to enjoy and look forward to what they're doing, not feel like they're being punished. And that's why I recommended the Epigenius Kids, because it's inclusive and they can make it in a way that the kids would love it.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Deidre.
You're welcome. Hi, Christina. Did you have a question? Nope, she left. Okay. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, then we'll close out this call. I will get this. I'm going to stop this recording and I'll get it